Alright, I'm sad to say it, but she ain't running. I didn't really look too hard into it, and then I ended up snapping the fuel inline piece right in there. Hold on. Right down there you can see. And the only other one I have is on my Minty 16 horsepower engine here. So, I think of what I've decided is it's time to pull this 16 opposed twin out and put my V-twin in here and start spanking down some horsepower. So that's what's going to be happening now. We were going to be going out riding tomorrow, but I guess that's not happening because Musty ain't running. But this is good. This is good news. So I'm going to do what I can to videotape this swapping process. But it shouldn't be too bad. It's another engine, electronic control, whatever it is. Should be an easy swap, but I always like doing things nice, so it's going to take me a bit here. So let's do it. Musty, I think you've been waiting for this for a long time, and that opposed twin there has done more than she's needed to, and that engine will live on in another mower for sure, because it still runs, it just needs a rebuild. Alright, let's get to this. Musty, it's your turn under the cutting block, buddy. On the cutting block. Alright, we got the garage all reorganized here. That Musty's up at the front. That means she's getting work done, which makes me very happy because I'm always working on something else and not Musty. Anyways, I don't know how long this one's going to take. I'm hoping it's not going to be too long of a little build here, but there's lots I want to do, but for this little spot I just need to get my wiring and my engine figured out. I do have a shit ton of wiring in there because I have a lot of light bars and stuff. So I'll be going through all that kind of stuff, figuring out what I do and don't want. I'm going to be switching to a push button start so I don't lose my key. Not that we do lose our keys. If you can't already see that already, I use a coat hook as my key with a real key on there, and boom boom. But I blew out my solenoid here, so I need to get another one of those, which I do already have. One with the new engine, it came with it, whatever, sorry. But, to people that would be asking, this 16 horsepower opposed twin, or the 18 horsepower opposed twin, or the 19.5 or the 20, they are all really good motors. And if I had a 20 horsepower opposed, I'd be putting that in, no problem. That's an easy swap. I'd be doing that all day, but I don't have that. I found a good motor, that John Deere there, Briggs & Stratton 23. I'm very happy with that, so that's what's good. That's what's going to happen. If that one pops, then I put another one in. Who cares, right? Let's just get some revs out there and some V-twin action. I haven't had a V-twin yet in my mower. So let's do this. Lots to get done. Wanted to go riding yesterday, but not going to happen now because we're doing some work. Let's do this. We were always rolling the dice taking Musty out just because you never know what's going to happen. But she finally quit in the garage, so that was pretty decent. And by quit, I mean like I could definitely go through this. My only issue is I'm pretty sure my vacuum pump is not working anymore. But I broke off the little nozzle for it, and that just pissed me off enough to say, you know what? I got a perfectly good engine in the corner there with more horsepower and like lesser hours that needs to get running. So let's do this. The only thing I don't like is I hate doing one part of the build because I got that 2300 series Peerless in the back, and I want to redo the whole front end because I want to be more custom. But either way, I'm just pulling everything off, taking off the throttle cable, the choke, wiring. I had some tubes going up for some breathers. Now underneath I'm getting the pulley off, but it's seized onto the shaft, so that's kind of shitty, so I'm kind of dealing with that. But nothing too crazy yet, but it's coming along. I was able to get the hood off too, which is a first because these are actually riveted on, so I had to grind the rivets out. But I do like how easy it is to work on the mower like this. So when I go to put the hood back on in the background there, I'm actually going to make it bolt on, bolt off, so I can take the top part off. Because the front part here is welded on, I can't take the grill off unless I cut it off. My mistake, but it's too far, too deep. I'm going to just keep adding to it. So this is how it's going to be for now on, but at least I'll be able to take off the top of the hood there to work on it. Anyways, let's get to it. Alright, so today we were successfully able to get the 16 horsepower OP engine out. It was a good motor, worked very well for as long as I had it in there, but it's time to get to on to better, bigger things. Anyways, come on, look at this now. Now, after having to cut the engine shaft on the bottom and using my homemade pulley puller, which I'll show you. Alright, so after using the homemade pulley puller, which is just a little nut bolt welded onto a flat plate, couple bolts on there, drilled 2 holes in it, they're off, but it was hard to get under the mower there. Was able to pull that right off the engine shaft because it was the engine shaft was either bent or crooked or whatever it was, so got that off. But this is the first time I've ever seen my mower without an engine in it, so enjoy this with me because she's dirty. Now, you guys can actually, if you haven't watched the upgraded steering video, you can see what I did here now. So that worked really well. It's now time for me to clean this and get ready for that big 23 horsepower to go in. I'm pretty excited, but a lot needs to get done, so let's do it. Alright, so getting furthermore into the build here, we did some cleanup because man, this thing hasn't been cleaned in ever. I don't think it's ever been cleaned because it's just hard to clean under the engine. Anyway, so what I did, took my brake clean, sprayed down a lot of stuff, and then just started wiping it down with some blue towel rag, whatever. The next thing I did was move my wiring. So that new engine is a V-twin engine, which means that the cylinders are in a V shape. So they're going out like this, opposed to my opposed 16 horsepower, which means the pistons are opposite of each other. They're going like this, going back and forth instead of in a V shape. So I got to make some room for that big engine. So I took all my wiring, which was under the engine before, because the opposed twin sat out this way, and put it all up against, like, zap strapped it to the side of the frame there, so I got more room in the cradle here. So with that, I've noticed that I want to make this thing nice and sturdy, which means making it, like, adding some more metal is what I mean. Which I don't like these 2 holes, even though that's where my muffler frame, whatever's gonna come through, or my muffler pipes are gonna come through. Sorry. But me and Tony were talking, which is on the who's on the camera right now, and we're thinking maybe I should take out my front axle right now too. Just cut off all the front of the axle shit, get it all out of there, because well, it's just fucking, it's thundered here. I'll give you the frickin'.
Yeah, there's some play in there.
Some stuff, and I've tried making this front axle work, but it's done. So that's fine with me. I've been waiting for this day, and I didn't think I was gonna do it now because, like, May-long camping trips coming up in 2 weeks, and I got a lot to do. So do the boys, but I wasn't even gonna do an engine swap. So doing a front axle swap's a lot of work. But me and Tony are thinking, and I'm thinking it's a good idea. Right. So my battery sits in the dash part here, which is very clustered right now. So I'm gonna be going through my wiring, but not today. So what I've done is I've taken out my ammo box, which a lot of you might see sits in here. Now my gear shifter did hit this a little bit, but I shaved it down. Anyways, this is just 2 bolts in. It comes out, holds all, like, my camera gear, gloves, anything I don't want to get in contact with water. But this is how I get my battery out. As you can see, I just got a strap holding my battery in, which is very secure. But I'll be taking that out and then be going right through the wiring, because as you guys can probably see, I got a lot of lights on this thing, and they need to be all working and in good shape, right?
So this unit's up for sale, but what the eyes are really looking for. Whew.
Sheesh. I'm just joking around with people. Check this out though. Me and Tony lifted the lighter than the 16 horsepower, 23 horsepower V-twin into the mower here, and, like, I don't want to get too hyped up on it right now because there's way too much work to be getting done. But man, this is a sick setup, and, like, that's a lot of fucking horsepower. Not that horsepower means everything. I'm only swapping this in there because Musty's running out, and this is, like, I'm hoping a low hour engine from what I'm gonna find out once I plug it in, see the hours on it. But I'm not too worried about that. This engine's in phenomenal shape, and it's very strong runner. I've had other mowers with similar engines, so I'm pretty excited about that. And all else fails, if it blows, I'll put another one in it, right? So anyways, it's kind of pretty exciting to see it in there. Obviously, it's not in there. This is literally just threw it on there and see what it looks like. But it's like, I don't know. I got the butterflies. This is something I've always wanted in Musty, and I think Musty doesn't even know it yet. But she's gonna be fucking breathing some fire.